Okay, well, I'm going to try this again. The first time I ran through this, I did not have audio working, apparently. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I haven't done this before with Google Hangouts. I'm Ryan, and I'm at the Colorado Music Festival doing recording for the festival, as well as their live sound work, as well as work for broadcast for the public radio out here in Colorado. And so just a little walkthrough of how I'm transferring all the files from the auditorium to the mixing suite here, and then how the sessions are generally set up. Once again, just trying to figure things out here. At the Chautauqua Auditorium where we record, I have somewhere between 8 and 15 mics set up, depending on the needs of the orchestra and whether or not we're running stuff live. And that all gets recorded in Logic Pro X10. Just basically, it's just direct sins, and I set up a very minor mix in the recording there, but it's really just to visually see. I think I would like to upgrade at some point to Joko or something like that, but right now that's what I have. I'm recording over there on a, this is not it, but a lossy hard drive, and that hard drive stays at the festival at the auditorium. Then when I'm done with the show, I transfer that pretty immediately to a portable hard drive, which I then bring here and load onto a big external hard drive here, a 2 terabyte Toshiba, which I'm using for the festival. That is my main working drive. So I still have the one at the festival, which gets deleted. There's not that much space on it. It's 500 gigabyte drive and stuff. It's plenty of space, but I don't worry about that. Once the concert is done, it's been transferred here. That's a backup. This gets then moved to another location where it's transferred to another drive, and then I can mix. And that other drive, Toshiba number 1, then gets backed up to Toshiba number 2, at which point I should be able to delete both of these and have no worries because I've already got it backed up again. Most likely I will not be deleting the stuff on the portable drive. That'll just stay on that the entire summer. Once I'm here, I get into mixing. Now, there's an interesting issue in that at the hall I'm recording in Logic 10, which is not backwards compatible with Logic 8, which is what I'm mixing in. And there's a lot of reasons for that. The main one is I can't upgrade this computer to Logic 10 without upgrading the operating system. And if I upgrade the operating system, I have some other software that won't function. So then I have to pay to upgrade that software. And then those of you who've been around this long enough, then you get into the plug-in wars where things aren't compatible and something's 64-bit, something's 32. And I'm just trying to avoid that as long as possible, essentially. So I'll do a little screen share here and kind of show you the actual session. It's just a template I put together yesterday. So you'll see the entire screen, and I hit share, and then I can present that to everyone. Cool. So now you can see my entire screen. So if I go over here, I can actually go directly to Logic here, and you can see the session. You'll notice, like so far, there's no markers set up that actually mean anything. And once again, I'm trying to figure out that backward transfer from 10 to 8. And I think I have a good solution for it, which I'll do another video on because there's a lot of questions out there from people about that. But you'll see if we look at the mixer here, bring it up a little larger. If we look at the mixer here, the tracks here, these are two 414 XL2s. I'm using those as my main pair here at the beginning. I'm going to compare those with KSM 44s tomorrow morning. But those are my center pair, sort of an ORTF setup. QTCs are outriggers on the sides, front of the stage. Then the 184s are hanging out over the woodwinds and brass. Probably going to modify some stuff there as well. I'm using right now SM81s as spot mics, and I'll probably grab a couple more of those. The SM81 sounds great on the bass section, which was awesome, which I just realized I forgot to move. something during the concert today. Damn. Tomorrow. And then there's a couple solo mics and stuff. In this case, this was a solo upright bass, and I used the KSM 44. It sounded awesome. All of these channels here are going out to bus 10, which is over here, which then goes to my stereo outs. And that just allows me to use a little bit of compression and stuff if I need it. Generally, the session starts off with everything bypassed. Most of my EQ stuff is pretty minimal. Just low frequency roll-offs, things of that nature. Once in a while on the QTCs I'm playing with, I'm trying to kind of figure out how I want to EQ them slightly because they're a little too bright. And then there's a specific point in the hall that kind of resonates around 130, 135 hertz. So I'm pulling that out on the master because it's in like 5 or 6 different mics. My solo mic has its own bus that I can modify. Once again, this is template. None of these are actually set. And then I have some various reverbs that are set up on, traditional sends on buses here. That all goes to a master where I can view levels and whatnot here, apply limiting if I want, and a little bit of EQ to a master mix. Sometimes that gets used, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see kind of what the festival is looking for this year. I'll give them some things to listen to and compare and ask them which they like better, that sort of thing. So that is basically it. Let me bring back the screen here if I can figure out how. I think if I do that, we should be hanging out over here, so I can stop the screen share. And we're back. So yeah, it's really an exciting festival. The orchestra rocks. They're pretty phenomenal. So unexpected kind of on my end. Not because I didn't think they'd be a great orchestra, but just because the facility and stuff, I didn't know what to expect. It's out here. It's up in the mountain. The facility is an old church barn thing. It's wood. You can see out the walls. But it's really, just hearing one concert, I was very impressed. Good energy, and good playing in general. So when we get into the larger concerts and stuff starting next week, I think it'll be really exciting. And then when we do the mashup stuff, where we're doing a lot more sort of pop production type stuff, that's when it'll get complicated. When I'm running, 6, 8, 10, 18, 20 mics into the console and mixing a live show at the same time, recording that and then coming back and having to do mixes of it and turn all of that around in a week while doing 4 or 5 concerts a week and the rehearsals. So there's a lot to get done, but that's sort of a basic part of the process. It's getting those template sessions set up and making sure everything's backed up so that when something inevitably fails, I'll have a way to get back to what was there before. Cool. Well, I'm going to try to do some broadcasts of this nature over time with sound and figure out some better camera options. I've got some things. Anyway, yeah, and if you have questions or whatever, I can answer those as well. Cool.